this here. If Bond comes through, mixed up the Demon King all on his own, and saved the day, people would drop Taizai and say it's awful, right? The same way, if Arthur came through, grabbed Excalibur, and beheaded all 4 demons at that one point in time, everyone would walk away saying that was bullshit.
Yep.
Can't really.
My thing is that, like, this is what I was saying to the people in the into the chat in the Discord. Yo ho, by the way, guys, we're just getting started though. If we make our own preconceived notions about what we think should happen or what's supposed to happen or why it's happening without the full information, when we get the actual explanation of what's occurring in Nakaba's head, we're not gonna like it because it's not gonna match what we think should happen or what should happen. We spent I think it was 2 hours during chapter 301 or 300 before 301 dropped, just discussing how in the fucking world do you beat the Demon King realistically. And we were going just back and forth, saying all kinds of ridiculous bullshit, none of which really it made sense. It could happen, but it just wouldn't be good. So I'm at the point where I can't come up with a good solution for this. I don't know what's gonna be a good solution for this, but I can't sit here and ignore the fact that the positioning that we're at seems like bullshit. But that's why we're here today to discuss this shit. What's going on, guys? Boar's hat today, chapter 301 dropped after the great 300 chapters of Nanatsu no Taizai. Today I got Zarso with me, VengefulEagle, Griever. What's going on, guys?
Yeah. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Gang.
So niggas thought about the chapter, bro.
Okay, let's just all take a moment of silence to say at the very least Bond is back. I mean, let's give up the bullshit for a second and just be happy that Bond has a shiny moment, even if it comes from a place of total bullshit doo-doo. At the very least, it's still Bond. We all love Bond, and he's still doing some badass shit in this chapter. That's what's making me happy. I'm taking the good. I'm taking the salt away. I'm just left with the meat. I'm taking away the salt and the seasoning. I'm just left with the meat. Before it was all over. So
Vengeful, all you, man. You're next.
I mean, I agree. I've had a bad taste in my mouth about the Bond thing ever since he came out and gave away his immortality. It's just like what the hell, man? But this whole him being able to just be impervious to this wind, even though he doesn't have that constant regeneration. I mean, I understand it is weaker, but that was the only thing that was keeping him intact in there. So it's just I don't know. But then again, like Griever says, I guess we just got to try and appreciate the moment. I do like that cover page, though, with him staring his ass down.
Oh, that cover page.
Yeah.
It was cold. That was cold. You know what? Honestly, if I had to give this chapter a legitimate rating, off the heels of last chapter, I'll give it a solid 7 to 8. I mean, I won't give it a 9 because my boy Arthur's not here, so it can't be a 9. There's no way. It couldn't be a 10 because my boy Arthur's not here, and that definitely couldn't be a 10. But it's definitely a 7 or 8. I'll give it a 7 or 8. Overall, whenever Bond goes crazy, it's always fun to watch him, slap somebody up. Just like Griever said, moving all the controversy and all the ridiculous of it, I can appreciate the fact that he's back and he's doing some action. I mean, that's all I really was looking for when he was gone in the first place. Some Bond action, and we got it. I can't deny it. We did get it. I was expecting a bit more I don't know, craziness from his little bout with the Demon King, a little bob and weaving, a bit more bob and weaving, he's bob and weave a little bit, a little bit more, what I'm saying, just drop the left, drop to left real quick, give him a little 1-2, but it's fine, it's a little something, it wasn't too crazy. They really this whole chapter, you didn't even need to do a reread only because it was so straightforward. It was kind of ridiculous how straightforward this chapter was. There wasn't anything I need to take a second look at because it was just so linear. Other than that, yeah, I had fun. There wasn't there wasn't too much to really freak the fuck out about compared to the earlier parts of this ongoing climax of a holy war.
Yeah, I I guess to put it all together, I think it's been since the battle of the top six, Rudisil versus Zeldris' game, that we've been having speculative points. Just the fact that we got all those top tier players in the same arena. I don't want to say that there was bound to be controversy because it could have easily been done amazingly great. But if we look to even in Marineford and One Piece, like there were people that still complain about that instance in the presentation that we got there. So it's not like great wars or great situations as such as this aren't often butchered, which is why I'm okay with giving Nakaba a certain extent of leniency. The rest of Taizai has been pretty exceptional for the most part. So, the thing is, fuck. I'll just speak clearly. The fact that we were told that the story was planned out since day one, it made me like have a lot of belief and a lot of hope for a lot of things that happen. And it almost gave Nakaba a safeguard, in my opinion, from writing stupid shit. But that's not the case. Even if you have it planned out, you can plan stupid shit. So like.
Yan having 2 bouts of amnesia, just saying.
Yeah. That was the first thing that
Yeah.
came to my head. It's like that's the first thing that Griever probably would have said. But the thing is, like, that's like the only real thing that I ever had an issue with when it came to like the main cast of characters. Since the Sins were gonna be it, save for Elizabeth and a couple of the characters. That's just the only real thing that got on my nerve when it came to just his characterization or his use of characters. Like she's like the one Sin that you rarely can see being used. But continue.
Yeah. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. But
You know why? You know why it's a little more unacceptable? Because Zarsel just said like that's one instance. I call it 2, and the reason I call it 2 instances is because it's a double fault for me, because everyone's bitching about Big Mom's amnesia right now in One Piece, right? Because that's a shonen trope. That's a manga thing that everybody hates. It's a cliche that everybody hates, and yet everybody's hating on Oda for doing it. Happened to Deanne once, and then Nakaba couldn't even have the balls to try to pull it on the second character. Literally, just after we came full circle, gives the same character a second bout of cliche nonsense. So I call it a double fault. The fact that she had the amnesia in the first place wasn't really okay with me, because once again, we all say it's just a bad plot device when people can't figure out how to do stuff. And he did it twice. Like, so once again, as you said, Grimm, like the fact that he planned it out, if he planned it out, that should mean there should be almost no room for error. Like it should be at 95% overall. There should be very little error. Whether you like the plot direction or not is up for opinion and interpretation. But things like that's just unacceptable for something that's supposedly planned out.
Agreed. We've talked about it before on the board chat, how she has issues with her story. I can't even seriously, without going back and reading deeply, understand what the fuck her entire story arc is, besides the memory bullshit. Besides her trying to be a warrior and shit like that. That was resolved back in the fucking in the flashback arc with Delore and Gloxinia. So if we get fucking Galactus shit to this point, Mael shit to this point, Meliodas, Elizabeth shit right now, Bond shit recently, really the only 3 characters that have shit that's sparse or trash is Escanor, Diane, and Merlin. That's really it.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
what do we really have for their stories in terms of arcs and shit like that? It's not really much. So, to go back to the point about the current situation, as long as we're at a point where it's difficult to understand clearly what's going on, and we can halfway blame it on translations, we can halfway blame it on like the scheme of the story, whatever we want to call it. I'm gonna be skeptical. You guys already know you can even call me that if you need to, a huge ass Taizai stan. I defend Nakaba at any corner that I can because I try to see the best in it, and a lot of times it does work out. Prime example, the whole Merlin thing in the recent war. Merlin pulled some fucking crazy ass stupid bullshit. Narratively, it should not have worked. It does not work narratively, but in the story as how he wrote it, it can technically pass, quote unquote. He's put things in place to let it be the case, but it doesn't mean it's not bad writing. So to see it compiling at this point, 300, sure. DK took over the body, sure. I didn't have a problem with it. Good twist to me. And nobody really see it. But now, this whole Bond thing, I'm confused to what you're doing. I just don't know anymore what he's doing. Oh, before we keep it popping though, what's good, Naya?
What's up?
Oh, the great ape himself. What's going on?
Yo, I'm alright. I'm tired.
Shit. What you think about the chapter, bro?
So do I sound okay first of all? Do I sound okay?
You're a little loud.
See, I had a feeling I might be tripping.
Coming across strong.
I don't know, but fuck. Yeah, the chapter was good. I like. Email was bad season, so I liked it. I turned my gain down. Let me know if that's a bit better.
Yeah.
Here you
Um. Okay, so I knew Bad was in the gym. I didn't know he was in the gym like that. So I don't even know if it fully makes sense, but I'm here for it. Cause I said he was gonna take down the original demon. I thought he was gonna be like around like how much stronger than him, but Demon King, I don't know about that one, but I'm here for it. And I told you guys his immortality being gone was gonna be like the reason why he was gonna really glow up, because he didn't have that crutch to heal.
Mm-hmm.
It was gonna put him on a different tier. I didn't think the tier was gonna be DK, but I'm here for it. Real quick, I want to say I was here last week, or last one. I told y'all he had a curveball coming for us. I told y'all. We're all thinking, is he evil? Is he not evil? This and that. I'm like, I don't know, bro. I just think something completely unprecedented or we didn't think of is gonna happen. And the joke is, how did we not see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Whoa.
like hindsight's 2020, but that shit was fucking obvious. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
The reason I said it in my review, and I said it in the Boar's Hat, and I'll say it again. The reason that it was so obvious and none of us caught it sort of idea is because it's so obviously bad. It's a bad thing that every damn shonen villain that everybody complains about. Let's see, I don't know, what's a big name one? Naraku from Inuyasha, anybody? Body possession all the time? New bodies? A weak-ass motherfucker? Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, he's using something that is in Naruto, is in Beelzebub, is in Bleach, is in literally everything. We're thinking it's this crazy, 3-stage plan, and it's going to be great. Like, the Demon King reveal, what's his true motive? What's he going to do? And it's body possession? Really? The same thing every sort of villain pulls? That's why I didn't think it, because I thought Nakaba was better than that.
Yeah,
I feel you, but within the context of the story, though, it still makes sense, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when Griever really kind of says it out loud, when I think about something, damn, like this is kind of it's like one of the old plans that that the Demon King kind of was looking around. I was like, okay, like who's done the worst plan ever? Okay, let's see. Body possession. All right, sounds pretty good. Oh, take over the world. Okay, pretty bland. All right, grab the strongest weapon. I mean, I am the strongest weapon. Like, I didn't I just realized that's kind of like one of the kind of lesser kind of, I don't know, used ideas. Oh yeah, let me possess the hero's body. That'd scare him.
I mean, like our boy said, I guess in hindsight it is pretty clear. Like, even to this day, one of the clearest idea that I have about the Demon King is him trying to take over Britannia, because they told us there was some well of magic in Britannia that they were fighting over as well. So I thought, like, okay, this thing got sealed away. He may be trying to take over Britannia by his niggas instead of him himself, and then somehow he can come over here. I thought that was what the scheme was, in general, as to what they were telling us. But like you said, it was so obvious that we just didn't see it. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It is cliche. I'll agree with it is extremely cliche, but like any person that has an old thing can do something new or different with it. So once again, I am optimistic, but at least to that single part. But like, we are acknowledging that this current chapter, is something to be like thinking about. Now, like I said it when I first got in here, we can't come to conclusions when we only have a piece of the puzzle. We can't do that. That's gonna change our viewpoint when we get the entire puzzle. But is Bond going toe to toe with this nigga? Is it complete bullshit, or can it be be okay later on? Let me ask that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't know if the Demon King has the exact same level of power in the new body that he does in his like whatever body in Purgatory. I'm not entirely sure, because it seems like his consciousness is somewhat split when he was kind of talking to the Meliodas inside of him. Which I think the idea was that Ban was not fighting him by himself. He's on the outside, Meliodas is on the inside, and together they're comparable. I think that was what we were really supposed to take away. Not that literally Ban is like, haha, I'm stronger than the Demon King. Now, is he strong enough to hurt him enough, which is already a little bit ridiculous? All right, sure, but if you really think about how long he actually was in purgatory, it's not as far fetched as it seems. And like I kept hammering for weeks, the fact that he does not have his immortality anymore was going to be a big deal because now he wasn't going to have the crutch of I get washed and regenerate, and that's my thing. He's like, I can give away my immortality and become mortal now because I have the strength to take very powerful attacks. Was I wasn't too shocked. I was a little bit like, oh damn, okay. But I was like, but I really wasn't as shocked as most people were. I was like, okay. I had to think about it. I'm like, you know what? We here. It's bad time. And considering what he's been through for quite some time in terms of combat feats, I think he deserves it.
Shit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's been showing for for a hot minute. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. People are like, oh wow, how's he so how's he able to fight against the Demon King? Like after coming out of purgatory, it's like, are y'all serious? Y'all were talking how trash used to be, how he used to just get slapped up by everybody, and the one moment it's time for him to shine. And everyone's all like, really? Wow, how can you do that? Wow, but it's the Demon King though. But seriously, wow, like.
Well, here's the two obvious pieces that are on my head. The first one is there's too much hype for this man in terms of the Demon King for it to just be as simple as hand to hand. Let me get some blood out your lips. The second
Bond
part,
is literally putting the paws on this dude.
He's putting the paws on that nigga. It's straight
Putting the paws on him.
doing that thing to the nigga.
Slow him down real quick. Like, hold on now.
The second part is we don't have a comparison for Bond outside of purgatory. We don't know what that means. We don't know what it means to go to purgatory and train. We don't know what it means to fight for 1,000+ years. We don't know what that means when you come to the real world besides this wind thing. It's the first instance where we got a reference to that. Oh, this wind that you're causing is nothing to the purgatory winds. That's fine. That's acceptable. I can 100% agree upon that. I just don't know what you're supposed to be able to do in contrast to him. He's supposed to be the strongest thing. Why are you like... And that same guy spent millions of years in purgatory. Not a few thousand, not 1,000, millions. So that's the part. I need a benchmark. I need a stronger benchmark to compare what Bond's supposed to be able to do. Because I'm not under the assumptions that this fight is going to go Bond and Meliodas, which is the DK. If it does, I'm calling it trash. I'll officially yield. That's trash. You're not going to give me the 7 Deadly Sins combo. You're not going to give me the Sins fighting together. You're not going to give me Meliodas for the body. That's trash.
I think you have to remember that Meliodas and Demon King are demons, right? That environment's not particularly that hostile to them. Of course, if they're not careful, they could still get taken over and whatnot. But to a human being, that shit is just literal. Remember that my man was burning and poisoning and coughing and all that stuff, and then apparently eventually he got stronger and he became resistant more. It's
yeah, it was a prison for hell.
It's more of a training thing for him than it would be for anybody else because he was actually although he's immortal, he's actually a human being. So you can kind of take it in the sense of the hyperbolic time chamber, where it's he's just skipping leaps and bounds in terms of levels of power because of the environment is so harsh to him. But he's actually been there for so stupid incredibly long because he's also not going to die from it. And I think people are not taking in how long he actually was there. It wasn't 5 days or a week. It wasn't 3 years. He was there for centuries upon centuries.
It was something like 6,000 years, wasn't it?
No, it
Something
was 1,200.
About yeah,
okay. So
something
if he
around
was there
1,000 years.
Yeah, okay. So if he was there, I have a problem with this. Once again, at the beginning, as I said, I love the fact because Bond has been treated like trash by Nakaba for over 100 chapters. I can say that easily. And it's about time
combat-wise.
I don't know about that,
yeah. Combat from a combat perspective, sure, but not character-wise. He was
not character-wise, but he's treated like trash combat-wise. All right? Mm-hmm. So the issue that I have here with this whole thing is, okay, because now you pointed it out very clearly. He's a human. Take away his immortality, Bond is a fucking human. I don't care if he was in there for 100,000 years. You're telling me that a human training for 6,000 years and getting his ass whooped like he's a mosquito over 7,000 times by this guy jumps into his words, a younger, powerful body, jumps into that body with half of the Demon King's apparently god strength and a human being with no immortality and 6,000 years of training can go toe to toe with a god. What?
Well,
What?
you're doing a couple. You're doing a couple of things. One, you're assuming that he's actually strong with Demon King. Like, I'm pretty sure he's not trying as hard as you think he is.
Yeah.
So Demon King's probably like, all right, enough of this farce. The next chapter, right?
Yeah.
To his power, his immortality was a crutch. It wasn't literally what his magic and whatnot came from. So him not being immortal is really not a big a deal as you're making. It's not really that big a deal. Because he still has Snatch, he still has like whatever other magic he learned in Purgatory to like give. What did he do again to the Demon King? Like gave him shit, and that's how he like. I don't even remember what he was doing, but like, fuck off with you. I thought, but I'm trying to play this game at the same time I'm talking. Fuck.
You were
Give me a sec.
Yeah, you were talking about the reasons why the DK isn't trying that much, and then.
Oh yeah. Like I understand. Like it seems kind of crazy right now, but I don't think we should overreact. We should wait a little bit just to see, how he retorts, because I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like, oh, okay, but like honestly though, I'm really strong. Just fucking spit slap him backwards. Because this kind of reminds me of the Kaido thing, where it's like some people have like the knee jerk overreaction. In the next chapter, he gets one shotted, and it's like, okay, so if we just waited literally a chapter. You'd be fine. So I'm not gonna blow out proportion yet.
Well, I mean, the only reason I want to counter that one thing is the fact that, listen, man, immortality might have been as you say, like more of a detriment than anything, and now he's fighting seriously because his life is on the line, sort of idea. But if we can take into account that the man fought for over 1,000 years in Purgatory with that crux. You take a martial arts Tai Chi master and take away one of his legs, guess what? He doesn't come out of there the next 5 minutes after training 6,000 years as a Tai Chi master, chop off his foot, and he's just as good a martial artist. He's got to adapt. You can't adapt in 5 fucking minutes, man. I don't care who you are. He's been fighting for over 1,000 years with immortality, with the I don't give a shit about my body. You telling me that he knew he was going to give up immortality before he got gift, so he didn't know he had it for the first 1,000 years, gets it the last fight against the Demon King, and goes, I can use this against Elaine. Well, good thing, I trained for 1,000 years caring a goddamn crap about my body. Like, it just doesn't make sense that he would be able to, his martial arts style doesn't have enough time to change to account for that.
No,
I think. Sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
No. This is your point anyway, so you might as well do it.
I think the tell for me that things were not going to go super bad was the fact that man walked up to him like, I got it. I don't think he was that stupid to be like, I can't handle this to some degree. And the fact that he knows his best friend is with him was part of the reason why he stepped in. I think you take into consideration now he took those things into consideration before he even stepped to the thing. You didn't just walk up to him like, okay, like I'm like, I don't know. It's hard to explain where it's like, I really feel that the immortality thing was holding him back a lot because he could just get hit by anything and not worry about it, and now he has to care more. He's like, this Purgatory win, this win is not as strong as it was in Purgatory. How would he know that? Because he's been there. He could compare the two. So that's why he just stood there. He's like, I'm fine. I'm good. I don't have to even get out the way of this attack. It's like, I don't think you're really taking in how he's approaching this fight mentally as well as you should. He's not that stupid. I know he's an airhead, but he's not that though.
Yeah. I was gonna say that when it comes to Bond, we all know that like he does like to fucking just kind of stand there and wait for someone to do something stupid. Then like he'll lose his head and arm, a heart or whatever, and has to grow it back later. Be like, oh, that was fun, let's do it. But think about it. He's been fighting like constantly for a good long while, to the point where he lost his senses and then regained his senses from like insanity. Like he literally like lost like all control over like his own mind for a good couple of centuries before he got it back. I would say after fighting for about like a whole millennia, like your battle sense is pretty damn it's pretty sharp. You can't just say that his battle sense would be sharp at all. It's kind of hard to just be like, oh yeah, you're not gonna be able to adapt your fighting style like that quickly. I think that like the last time we ever saw him take a hit was against the Demon King in Purgatory, and and he got out of it with like one arm cut off, and he just reattached it like as quick as he could. So it's kind of hard to say that he wasn't able to completely like adapt. He was doing pretty well for like the last 60 years and 6,000 fights.
Oh no, yeah. He's that's the part as to why we still have to give credit to the fact that this is just the first thing that's happened. It's just the first chapter in the first bout. It's fine. We know Purgatory was gonna be a huge jump. We knew when they went into this that it was gonna lead to them being the primary fighters of the Demon King. It's just we didn't do all this fighting for no reason. Mael is not here for no reason. King is not powered up or now powered down, but King is not here with a power up for no reason. Elizabeth did not awaken for no reason. Like those elements were partially, not completely, but partially for this fight. And like I said, once again, it's just the first chapter, so I will mind what I'm saying, but I'm not gonna accept a situation where Bon and Meliodas are fighting the DK like they want to. Even Vengeful and Naya pointed out that like the DK is probably just playing around right now, but both in his head and in the physical world, he's getting smacked up. So what am I supposed to take out of this? These two niggas can train for that long and attain the power of a DK? A nigga who subjugated the entire demon realm, who gave half of his power to 10 warriors, who decimated the entire land of Britannia in less than a week? Like, I need more.
I think the one thing that we do tend to forget is the thought process some of these characters do have, like coming into battle and facing off against different opponents. There is one trend that we do see in the series a lot, and that's some humans who are stronger than most normally tend to say, it's like, don't underestimate like our clan. Like we're not all ass. Like we're not all trash. You shouldn't be like looking down on us. And it happens a lot. Like, and Bond is like I guess like the latest example of, you don't just see a human, think, oh, ha, I'm just gonna slap him up, kill him quickly, and then like just stand there and be surprised when he doesn't die like instantly. That's like one of the main things people tend to forget. It's like when Dreyfus came back, don't look down on humans. When Denzel came through, don't look down on humans. When Arthur comes through, don't look down on humans. Like that's normally like the trend. Bond, we all knew he was human, but like he had that big crutch where the big crutch was like, okay, he's immortal, do whatever you want to him, he's gonna come back. Now he doesn't have it. I mean, like, we're just like submitting that fact. And I do agree that him and Meliodas like just tag teaming the Demon King alone without any out would be kind of like lackluster, because it is the 7 deadly sins, not the 2 deadly sins. I would like to see more from like his new form, maybe a bit more of like Diane being a bit more useful, like because that'd be
Diane useful in the same sentence.
Exactly, right? Crazy stuff, right? But like I would like to see more from the Sins, trying to stop the Demon King, because while it's amazing to see Bond, get some solo action, we still have like another like 5 other Sins just sitting there. I understand Escanor, I understand Merlin, but and Gopher to an extent, but like King, Diane, those two kind of unacceptable to not really be doing anything right, especially because like it's just like we're this late in the game. Like if the Sins are the most important characters, they might as well put in the most effort at this stage.
I also like I want to chime in that like the Harlequin thing was like not just important from a power standpoint, it was symbolic of him being the true king and the whole Gloxina thing coming to fruition. So I don't think it was just he needed to be stronger simply for this one fight. I think it was moving forward and for him to actually like lead the forest later on.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to don't be stop being a meathead. There's other thing happening. Okay, Grimm.
I agree. Like definitely, it was more of a majesty thing to prove that he's the true leader of the fairy race. He's completely redeemed himself. But like that power up,
He slapped. He embarrassed Mao.
He did it to him, man. Yeah.
Like no, it's all good, man. Yo here.
I need these niggas to like not fucking go to the side, but like that's the same bullshit that happened with the 3v3 fight. Like I'm tired of one nigga doing everything, bro. That's not realistic. That's just not realistic. No, it's not. I'll say it's like this. He told us it's not realistic. He showed us that. So why is he doing it now? Why is one nigga beating three top tier niggas? How is Ominous
Right.
Nebula doing that? How is the OG beating Merlin and all these niggas together? How is Merlin fucking up Chandler and Cusack at the same time, bruh?
Yes, exactly.
Hold on. Listen. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that he hasn't put it into place that certain things can't happen. It's just, why are you doing it like this in this situation? This is the war. This is the strongest niggas. Why is it that her spells that yes are superior and are great just work against these niggas that are also great superior? Why is King in his superpower up, which makes sense, just overwhelming 4 commandments like that? Why is Zeldris using one technique bodying 3 niggas? It doesn't make
that one's
sense.
obvious. He the GOAT, but you know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Prince
Had to
Zeldris
say
is
that
number
one.
one.
Oh fuck no! But I'm just saying, like, it's little things. And then the Mayo thing was the biggest portion. That was, you know what? I'm gonna just let it go. Vengeful. What you thinking about the shit that's going on right now?
What, the Mael powering up the sun?
No, everything we said so far. What are your thoughts?
Battle short of the end game. I told you guys, it always gets messy.
Hey, man.
Not always.
It has been really messy as far as like consistency goes through power scheme, but
This is what happens a lot of the time.
you just gotta go with you gotta roll with the punches. I don't know.
You
All
talk
I
to
know
Ninja-
is
you talk to Ninja Jesus and he gives you powers.
page
Yep.
12 when he's sinking that Muay Thai knee in. That shit looks sexy.
Yo,
That shit is sexy.
Yes.
He's sinking that knee in, but I don't know. I guess he did add the little justification that he's fighting on the inside as well, but that seems like it kind of just started at the same time. So I don't really know I don't know.
Yeah, remember that the initial little like fisticuffs that they were doing, Meliodas wasn't there yet.
Right.
He wasn't helping yet. He
Or
was
was
helping
he
at the
there?
end. No, but it's implied. It's implied that conversation between the Demon King and Meliodas is happening as he knocked on down.
After at the same time. I mean, interpret it both ways. I think.
no, yeah,
Alright,
that's
Right.
actually what I'm thinking. That it's happening at the same exact time. Like when he started.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, that's fair. But all right, I'm just gonna ask a question because I think I'm one of the only ones who think this. Am I the only one who loves Bond, loved the fact that he got a shining moment, so I can take that away from it? But the fact that we saw in Purgatory, we can argue all about the power of Purgatory, but the fact that fucker, last time we saw him, was treated like a goddamn mosquito to the Demon King. Demon King gets in a new, more powerful body, his words, not mine, and now all of a sudden, Bond's able to actually go toe-to-toe? How that makes any fucking sense? Am I the only one who has a problem with it, regardless of how stronger Bond became? The fact that the Demon King got into the vessel that he was after, and we don't even need to get into the reason why it couldn't have been 30 other demons right now. But the fact that he gets into this body that he's been after for 3,000 years, and like really,
It has to be the next chapter.
Like,
I'm
my
gonna-
Jesus.
I'm gonna say
problems.
this. I'm gonna say this. You got to think of it like this: the Demon King probably didn't, like I said before, he probably didn't figure, like there's gonna be someone who can actually, who's gonna show up in Britannia that's gonna handle me with this much power. Like, this is the vessel I've been after for 1,000 years. It's pretty damn powerful,
He fought him
I raised it.
6,800 times, man.
Yeah,
you tell me
because
he doesn't recognize him?
I'm
You
not
tell me
saying
you
I'm not
didn't
saying he
know?
doesn't I'm not saying he doesn't recognize him. I'm not saying that he doesn't know, but I'm pretty sure he didn't expect Bond to be right there on his ass the minute he, finally, after 3,000 years, my plan has finally succeeded. I'm finally Demon King. I'm pretty sure he didn't expect some random 6'4" dude to come mad up close and personal up in his shit. And be like,
Why you
"What's
say
going on?"
6'4"?
Because he's 6'4", isn't he? He's 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, he's tall as fuck.
That's
Yeah.
just funny.
Yeah, he's like, bro, big as a tree, right? Big as a tree. Just come and all up in your bro, tell you to get the fuck out his boy's body. And it's like, again, the Demon King probably didn't see this coming immediately. He probably figured, okay, I'll probably get some resistance later on, not 2 seconds after I'm out the
Dude,
cut,
that's one weak ass god of demons. If it literally he can get sucker
not-
punched into a
it's not that
brawl when
it's
he's
not
got
that
the
he's weak
power of
either.
God.
It's not that he's weak either, because I remember making this argument earlier today, where I said that when it comes to the size of characters, in fights, I'm not saying that it factors in, but you can't say that Nakaba hasn't detailed characters with different sizes going after one another, whether it being one person, well, rather whether it being like the smaller guy on the winning side or the bigger guy on the winning side. Because again, the fight goes how Nakaba wants it to. So if you want the bigger guy to win, it's gonna be the bigger guy. If you want the small guy to win, it's gonna be the smaller guy. My thing is, at least like in this case right now, Bond's fighting essentially in his element. He's not fighting some gigantic, gargantuan freak of nature that towers over him like a gigantic mountain. He's facing off against a dude literally not that much tall, like not that much bigger than him, not that much. Like he's actually fighting someone realistically, somewhere where he can somewhere he can realistically like perceive. Bond doesn't need to keep his senses about him in Britannia because he knows where he's at. Compared to Purgatory, where it's like the entire environment shifting constantly to the point where they had to find the Demon King every time they fought him because he always sent them away. Like I said, this fight with Bond versus Demon King makes more sense because Bond's actually home in his like environment. There's a lot less stuff that he needs to put his mind towards, because when you think about it, there's a lot he needs to put his mind towards when he was in Purgatory in the first place. It's a lot easier to fight here than it is in Purgatory. And again, it's not like he completely whipped down the Demon King. So I mean, so it's fair to me. You can only do so much against someone who's supposed to be seen as above you, especially like if you just come out of a training arc fresh.
Question: why the mental struggle that's going inside, or the struggle that's going inside of Meliodas' body? Why is it physical?
Because it's Ichigo versus his inner hollow bullshit, and in 5 more chapters, he's gonna get his body back, and we're gonna be at the same point we were at the end of 299.
Nigga.
That's my problem.
This is Xehanort and Terra's body.
It's tripping. I mean, that's in the context of the story, because the Mael confrontation wasn't physical, right? Or was it?
Well, yeah, I mean, sort of, yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
It
was more the commandments were kind of like corrupting his mind and warping his soul, rather than like the Demon King essentially kind of somewhat dwelling within Meliodas. And the reason why it's a physical fight, because we didn't get that answer for this chapter, why Meliodas isn't as good as a spellcaster as Chandler. And I mean, Nakaba said that he likes to move around his body, so it's not that far-fetched to assume that Meliodas kind of perceives a battle in his head as like a physical fight, rather than the way Gother would, where it's deconstructing the whole world from a wider perspective, in terms of mental combat, at least, because we've seen it happen a couple times.
And remember the fact that right now Meliodas, he already came full circle with his emotions. The Demon King and him are basically in the same vessel there, if you want to call it a soul battle or whatever, in his body. It's a 50-50 split. When it was Mael was like at 10%, and the commandments were still 90% of his body. They had already corrupted Mael for years. He's already been corrupted. Mael had to try to fight back. That's why he needed to push from girls and stuff. He was the underdog within his own mental fortitude. It was physically represented for us, the viewers, but it wasn't such an even split. Mael wasn't in there like, all right, I'm going to kick you out of my body, and the commandments were like, no, you're not. Mael was already in the woes of depression, let the commandments take them over. So it's more of an even fight this time to the soul of the body or whatever. At least
that's also something to keep in mind as well. I would like to put that to the record.
So
listen, Bango.
That too.
Would you guys like Meliodas' Demon King design over the original Demon King's design, or what's going on?
Absolutely not. I'm not a fan of the tights, low key.
Did you guys see the tweet where the guy's like, "Where's his meat at?" He's like, "Where's his dick imprint?" I'm like, "Huh?"
Crazy.
I'm like, "Why are you looking at that?" I mean, I don't know. For the Demon King, I don't like it, but for Meliodas, I think he looks raw. I hope he looks like that for the rest of the series.
He looks pretty cool. I think he looks pretty cool.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that's where I stand.
I'd say try something else. I mean, I like the white and gold and black. Like I really do.
Maybe with the skin tight. The hair and shit is fire.
The hair. It's like, you see, the thing is, I've always been his short haircut. All right, that was fine. The long thing, I'm not digging the Aerosmith, a rock on guitar. I'm it's just not like I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Just because you're jealous of Steven Tyler, man, don't mean
I'm
that you're
really
gonna be jealous
not.
of
I'm really
us.
not. I've had nappy hair for like 20 years now. And honestly, I've never been jealous of like the golden locks. Never have. It's so easy to just deal with naps than it is golden locks. I've seen horrible things happen to people with long hair, getting gum stuck in your hair, peanut butter stuck in your hair, piss in your hair, just anything in your hair.
What?
Piss in your hair.
Whoa.
What?
Dude, I've had long hair. I had ponytail for a long time. I
thought you said I had piss in my hair.
I ain't never get piss in my hair, man.
Piss.
I never even got peanut butter.
Amen. That night was crazy. Like that party
Jesus Christ.
That
Good
party went
Lord.
places.
Good Lord.
But I gotta say, as far as like when I think of a Demon King, the foreboding old man, like I do,
Yeah.
the older design kind of it resonates more with me.
It represents him better.
Yeah.
Better representation.
Just
Like
when I
that-
think of a Demon King, I'm like,
Like that, yeah, exactly. Like that and his sword, like that sword looked just grotesque and obscene. It was like, yeah, that's definitely a Demon King. No one needs to
Mhm.
like no one on earth wields something that disgusting and then tries to call himself a king.
So can anybody just to kind of retroactively go back a little bit? Can anybody tell me as to why? Maybe it's just me and maybe it's translation. I'll just chalk it up to translation. I think for myself, but the fact that the Demon King sits out there and goes, "You foolish boy," to Bond, and goes, "This is the power of a god," and he literally whips up like, from my understanding, if he's unleashing the power of God, then this is the most powerful storm he can make. And it's weaker significantly than Purgatory.
Nah, bro. No.
So you're telling me that this guy can't whip up a storm worse than Purgatory? But he's got the power
Yes.
of God.
That's all you, bro.
No,
I didn't get that from that
hold
at
on.
all.
Hold on. Wait, hold on.
I
don't
got it
wanna
was a
answer-
strong
don't answer-
attack, but I wouldn't say he was gonna like.
I would say this. The reason why, or rather, like how I rationalize it is like this. The reason why the Demon King wouldn't be to match something like Purgatory, probably because in this form he is in right now, you might be correct in saying that this one right now he's not as powerful as he was in Purgatory. It's either that or the Demon King himself just doesn't have the ability to replicate the effects of Purgatory as fluidly as he would like to believe, as Bond
What?
proved.
Bro, that was he just caused wind, and it was tough wind. That's all it was.
Honestly, I think it's a
The
combination
energy storm that he created, that they were describing how it was like acidic and caustic and everything, like how like it would like destroy flesh and like tear things
No
apart.
living
that, like,
thing
no
can
living
survive
thing
it.
should like be there and everything, right? And the idea is that he's basically creating like a space very similar to like Purgatory, where it's like living things normally will break the fuck down, and like I said, even though he's capable of doing probably killing anything in Britannia, like I said, he's not able to cause the same effect as Purgatory.
Hold on,
But
bro.
it was
Where
still
are y'all
working against
niggas
anyone
getting
else.
this context from, bro? It's been all week long. Niggas have been adding context to like,
I'm
what
not
the
adding
fuck are you
context,
talking
that's
about?
how I see it.
How is this wind from Purgatory?
No, not from
It's
Purgatory.
not-
No.
It's not when from. It's
Bro,
like,
you're telling me that this wind has characteristics of Purgatory. You just said, oh, it can, no living
No,
can
no.
describe it.
No. That's Gother's explanation of it. He said, or Males or somebody said, there's an energy storm out there that's intensely toxic and cause that. I don't think any kind of living creature could possibly withstand in it.
Yes. Because
That's
it's a tough
of the
wind
attack.
produced by a strong individual. And
Right.
Bond is the one who said, oh, I've been in Purgatory winds. This is nothing. All I took that as was that he's comparing the winds that this guy produced to the winds that he's already withstood in Purgatory. Not that they're his
Right.
strongest winds, not that they're godlike winds, or not that there's like some other property to the shit like it was in Purgatory. It's a strong.
The only reason,
That's what I'm saying, too. I'm
the
not-
only
I'm not
reason I
trying to
took
add
it that
anything.
way, the only reason I took it that way initially, and as I said, it might be something I think Naya brought it up about maybe the Demon King's not like going all out. Maybe he thought, oh well, I'm gonna give it. Here, try this spell. Oh, you survived that. Okay, well, maybe I gotta take it up a notch. That's a possibility. The only reason I added the god level thing is because he literally stated, this is the power of a god. Like, he's gonna showcase godlike power, and it's a win. That was my issue, is that it literally transitioned into something weaker than Purgatory, according to Bond. That's just all I took from it. But, as I said, I can forgive that pretty easily. As I said, there's a number of reasons why. But I just thought it was weird that he would claim, "Here's my great power of God," and it's a windstorm. Like, really?
I'm just on the fence because like, it, it's been all week long, but since the chapter dropped, people in the Discord have been saying stupidity that it. There's nothing in the story that says some of these things, and they're deriving it from it out of their ass. Like somebody told me that fucking this Demon King is fucking a bunch of times weaker than the one in Purgatory or whatever. Because
Yes, I keep hearing that in my comment section, and I got like 3 paragraphs on it. I was like, dude, first off, your explanation being longer than a chapter means it's got to have some problems with it. Second off,
well, I'm gonna use that.
yeah. Second off, like if you need more dialogue than the chapter has to explain the chapter, there's a problem with your explanation. So like, and the issue that I had is that I have no indication to believe that the Demon King's power. Here's my other problem. Now this may or may not be true. He could just be 50 commandments, half the Demon King's power plus Meliodas' power. He could be. But the way I took it is that right now, inside of Meliodas' body is the Demon King and Meliodas' souls, emotions, whatever you want to call them. And they're duking it out for control of the body, which is another issue, but we're not getting to that. The thing that I took away from it is, why does everyone assume that the Demon King is still in purgatory? His whole plan that everyone tried to justify in 300 was, oh, he needed to escape. He wanted to escape purgatory. How the fuck is it escaping if he's still got a conscience in purgatory?
Exactly.
He didn't escape. So he's, right now, as far as I'm concerned, he's got his 50 commandments, the power of Meliodas, and his power from purgatory all in one body right now.
Yes.
That's what I took from it. I don't understand how anybody else sees anything else, just trying to justify the fact that Bond can actually hit him with something. I don't know why.
And that's why I've been making it a point to not come to conclusions right now, because first of all, what they're saying isn't completely absurd. It's just there's nothing to say that with. There is nothing to say that with. If Nakaba says it next chapter, cool. That nigga's still in purgatory. He's doing some remote drone shit. Fine. Badass. He's still there trapped. Sure. I don't care. But what the fuck did you come up with? Like, nigga, like, that's out of your ass. Straight out of your ass. Like, what the fuck?
It's only no. For me, it's kind of out there as because like you said, like 300, it was like, okay, Demon King is all in, like it's all up in Meliodas, no homo. And then like 301, it's like no. Last week, forget all that. Half of them is still in purgatory, but the other half is in Meliodas, is all Meliodas, no homo. And it's like, no, it's like it's either one or the other. You can't just like you can't just like go and try and double back and just like try like wash what you just said last week. You can't just go try and like no, I saw you last week. I saw all of you last week.
Yeah, and 300 people.
That's how it was. And then like this whole schism of, oh well, then we can't explain how Bond was able to hit him. Maybe Bond was just able to maybe we're just overthinking it. Maybe it's gonna entail a physical fight. Like, why would it make sense that you have Bond here and he's not able to hit the Demon King at all? Like, that would just be like, well, then what the fuck were you here for in the first place? Like, okay, you can take the hits and you're not like getting torn apart, but you can't even like land a single hit. Like that, like damn, like that, like that's it. Like, I feel like Nakaba was able to balance this fight out very well compared to like the last couple of fights that we've had, simply because again, I'm not sitting here thinking, wow, Bond really slapped up the Demon King, and the Demon King is on the floor. Like I've never seen him so bloody. Like, I'm not sitting here thinking, damn, like Demon King really took an L. Like I'm not thinking that, and I shouldn't think that, because if he's supposed to be the final villain, then we can't expect him to get washed. And the fact that he's bleeding doesn't matter. Wow, he's bleeding. So Meliodas used to be bleeding too all the time.
I mean, Banner had gotten a little bit of the best of him in the Demon World already. It's not the first time he's done it, so
exactly,
it's really not that far fetched. I mean, like I said, knee-jerk overreaction, but you get used to it.
Yes. That's
exactly
it. Mm-hmm.
When somebody can just the thing that I believe Grimm agreed with me on is the fact that until we get explanation, I have no reason to not believe that the power of the Demon King from Purgatory and the 10 Commandments are all back in the same vessel, and this is the same dude who, other than one little bullshit gift thing that the Demon King adapted to in Purgatory, now has more than double his power when Bond fought and lost, is now able to do something. Is my problem until I get another explanation. That's my only problem with it. is that the fact that he could barely keep up with Purgatory Demon. Now we're gonna double Purgatory Demon's power, and Bond can all of a sudden hit him at all. Like, it shouldn't even make sense, as far as I understand. Now, the one thing, which is something I didn't think of, I think Naya and Zarsla, you both said it, was the fact that potentially the end chapter thing, it's not portrayed well, but potentially the confrontation between the Demon King soul and Meliodas' soul inside his body started from the moment he broke out of the cocoon. We don't know, or the moment he confronted Bond. We don't know, but that would at least lead me into belief that he's super, like, half of his power is preoccupied with fighting Meliodas.
It's like his attention is split between two places.
Yeah.
Right.
Therefore,
And
he has to
that's
divide
not
half
bad.
of his power and attention to both places. That's kind of how I took it to some degree.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still don't think he's trying. So
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that simply because, like, simply because the themes that Nakama was drawing from in the first place are all left with, like, kind of vague and vague ambiguity. So you can kind of, like, come up with, like, your own thoughts to begin with. Anyway, that's kind of how Celtic mythology is kind of set up in the first place. So I too wouldn't be opposed to disagree with the idea that Bond, rather, like, Meliodas was already here facing off against his dad in his head, while Bond was facing off against him on the outside. I wouldn't be opposed to disagree with that.
Well, I mean, it's. Can we all come to an understanding, though, that we are agreeing that what's been shown in this chapter is weird, but there's most likely going to be additional context in subsequent chapters, correct?
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Bet.
all I got was banned as the GOAT. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, I'm fine with Bond being the GOAT, but I think who said that he should have fought the Sinner?
Man,
Yeah, that was Eagle.
Yeah. All right. Well, kudos to that, because that's what should have went down. Not him going toe to toe, even for a couple moments, with the Demon King. The Sinner should have been more his level, because the Purgatory thing would have been fine. The Sinner was treated like trash, and Bond's been given a shiny moment. His shiny moment should have been the Sinner treating the rest of them like trash, and Bond showing up to be the GOAT. That would have been a way better way to showcase this.
Well, I mean, like, the Sinner got taken out by Mile, and Mile's kind of treated like trash as a character, too. So, what's the point at this point?
The Sinner has been treated like
so. We fame Demon King, you're?
Here's one thing. All right. So check this out and tell me if this has any merit. Let's say that this little blood is actually alluding to something different. Let's say that the decay in Meliodas' body isn't the final obstacle. Is there any chance, any hint, any light, any looking back, anything as to the supreme deity coming and being the final villain? Is there anything?
Other than the fact that I don't understand, they both cursed both their children, so why would the Demon King's power be able to override both curses? I felt like they needed to confront, like, he would take the Demon King's throne, usurp his old man, and then have to go fight the Supreme Deity as a equal to be able to break the curse entirely. At least that's the way I took it. The fact that the gods can kind of retroactively dispel their own curses of each other's.
They said that he himself, Meliodas, said that once he gets 10, he'll be able to break it. There wasn't even a context of, like, confronting anybody else. It seemed as if, like, by him gaining 10, he would then have the sufficient magic to revert the curse. But and I think it actually may be consistent because of the aging thing. He's obviously aged now, so that may be the case. Or it may be that the decay just, like, dispelled the magic and never got into the body. I don't know, but continue with speculation.
I just thought that, like if we're reaching, like, as I said, I agree with you that, like, that wasn't really the case that's been stated. I'm just trying to reach for any excuse or reason for that, because I still think the Sinner's going to pop out from whatever rock he crawled under, and he's going to be like, when Meliodas and Bond tag team the Demon King and his vessel, like blindside him, and be like, I'll take that power for myself, it's been 5,000 years, some Yu-Gi-Oh fucking intro bullshit, and boom. We get the Sinner taking his power back, and the Sinner's the final villain.
You know what? You You know, Grimm, you know me, man. I'd love to speculate, but like, it's like I honestly, first off, where the heck do you expect the supreme deity to be sealed? I mean, let's be honest, right? If there's supposed to be like a duality between the demon clan and the goddess clan, right? So one's the other half, the other's coin. Then we can assume that maybe the supreme deity is sealed somewhere specific, just like how the demon king was. And if we go on that line of thinking, there's a good chance we're not going to see here. To be totally honest with you, because it's like, yo, we'd have to actually like find out where she came from, and not go would have to be like, oh yeah, she was over here the whole time, and now it's time. Now it's time. Like, really, guy, like she came out of nowhere. Like you never had any like. Elizabeth could have been dreaming for how long, and seen her mom, like, I don't know, taking a dump in the corner or some shit. Like, I'm gonna see you in like 2 weeks, kid, or something. But no, we haven't seen her do anything besides like bitch slap her child, and that's about it. I don't think I like maybe we see the supreme deity, but I don't see it. Like, there's almost no way. I can't even reach. I can't think of a single way to reach to find her in, like, included in the story this late in the game. I can't.
She's
You
gonna
could
show
say
up.
you. How? With what? With what vessel?
Elizabeth. She
Yeah.
the same shit.
And then
she'd have
how-
to be willing, it seems, and I don't know about that.
And the body possession thing will be even worse because it'll be double, just like the ends.
been-
It's friggin' oh Jesus.
Okay, hold on. You can't be talking about body possession like trash now, when like it was kind of like one of the main things in the story since the first part of the series, and like, body possession is just a thing in Taizai. It's a thing. It's just like it's not.
It's weak sauce, man. It's weak. Like, it's not weak for the other characters. It made sense for the other characters right now, and it may make sense, but I got so many plot holes that we already went into before.
I don't think she's gonna need
but-
a vessel. If she needs a vessel, damn it, why the fuck do you need a vessel? That's just like that's the thing. I'm just hoping that no one takes Arthur's body as a vessel. Just don't do that. Someone needs to wake up on his own.
Arthur's dead.
Like, chill out. Don't say that.
So is Zeldris. Apparently, that storm kills any living thing, and I didn't see him in Pollen Garden.
He did
So
nowhere.
apparently Zeldris
Yeah,
dead
damn.
too.
Yeah, damn. That's actually something to think about. Like,
I can see that's on screen that happen.
Nice.
wait, hold on. Is he
You
inside?
know the rules. It was not on panel. They alive. Those are the rules. I don't write them. I just enforce them.
Okay.
Yeah, damn it.
Just
Yeah, damn. Is he
Sinner's
alive?
alive, then. Sinner's alive. I'm taking it. Sinner's alive.
Yeah, I expect
Well-
that.
Yeah, I do too. I expect him to try to backstab something when they beat him down or something. I'm just gonna be really bored that we're gonna end up in the same spot we basically were at the end of 299. I'm still pissed about that because at the end of the day, Meliodas is gonna beat down the Demon King in some way from help from his Nakama or something like that, and then it's going to be, I will take my body back. He'll get his body back in another few chapters, and then it'll be like, okay, so we're basically where we were at the end of 299, except we wasted the last month of Taizai. Great. I'm so thrilled.
Maybe.
Well, hold on, because right now we're at a different point.
Oh my god, he's not having it with this chapter. I love it.
I haven't had it since 300, man. 300 was the worst turn in Taizai.
Not having it.
Ever since we got this, we've been talking about how Meliodas has to overcome the Demon King, right, in the mental status, right? But the problem before this, for 5 to 10 chapters, was not letting him have the 10 Commandments, because he would be different. So, what happens after he gets his body back? He still has 10 Commandments.
Supreme deity.
That's only if the commandments aren't purged from his body and take, like, a physical form. Because let's be honest now, like, that's probably where this is gonna lead to. If I had to give you like a serious serious prediction.
Oh,
Maybe.
there we go. Meliodas gets kicked out, or Meliodas kicks the Demon King back out of his body. He's locked back in purgatory because Mother of Chaos did something, I believe. And then boom, we have the sinner taking the commandments as they get expelled from his body. Now the sinner has the power, but Meliodas still has his adult form and fights with the 7 sins like we fucking want the 7 sins to all tag team one big bad. And it's
Do
the
we?
sinner with the 10 commandments. Well, I think it'd be cool.
Oh, that shit.
I don't know about all 7 sins taken
Fuck
down.
your friendship.
What you saying, dude? I mean,
what we want that.
yes, nigga, that's what I mean, bro. Just go fly off somewhere, bro. Fight a nigga by yourself and come back alive or dead. That's it.
What we want that. I get no damn teamwork.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that's that's one thing I'm kind of pissed off about with Taizai. Like when it came to like, the tournaments and everything that they had, it's like, yo, the great battle festival, bro. Like that should have actually like gone through and like been something. There should have been like an actual like winner of that shit instead of just like oh, it's interrupted. Escanor had to hit somebody. It's yeah, no more fights now. really like you have like what like another 4 or 5 rounds to go through before like this whole bitch is over. You want to do that? Lazy, yeah.
Like, what was wrong with the Chandler fight? The first Chandler fight, they were all teamed up to try to take down Chandler, and they did significant. They made him pull out his full demon form and stuff. They still lost, but it was still cool to see them all teaming up and combining fucking attacks and shit.
Nigga, that shit was greatness, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's
why
like
can't we get that again?
there's a clear difference here. There's a clear difference now. Like, it's we can say that this shit is trash because we've seen greatness from Taizai. It's not like we're comparing it to Dragon Ball, to One Piece, some other shit like that. No, we've seen battle greatness in Taizai. Why are you doing this? What is going on right now?
Yep. Not a fan. Not a fan.
But
I ain't taking none of this 300 plus shit right now. I'm just not having it.
The reason why I'm fine with this, honestly, is because of one thing only. Normally, we get these fights where like the sins are all in like one situation, and one sin stands above the rest with with their abilities. Gother stood above all the other sins when Gallon came through because he was the only one to literally stop Gallon's get past Gallon's onslaught without any injury at all, and literally saved everybody else. You had Merlin come through with her infinity, and she literally stopped Grey Road and literally got his bullshit all up out of the castle. Like, we always see it. One of the sins normally stands above the rest. That's kind of how the story has always been. There's never been like another like way the story's been.
Now we've also look. We understand that there's been an acceptable balance to things. I'm not saying that. I'm just pointing out the fact that this is peculiar. What's going on right now and what went on with the 3v3 is a peculiar way of fighting for Taizai. I wasn't necessarily a fan of it, but it did look good. We did get the aesthetics of it, and it is Taizai fighting. Like, there aren't many series that really replicate the way that Taizai does things in terms of like fighting styles and shit like that. It was entertaining to see. It's just things didn't necessarily. They weren't positioned as we thought they should be positioned. Maybe that's our own fault. Maybe that is Nakaba's fault. But we're at a crossroads right now. I didn't think we were at a crossroads with the Merlin thing. I know Naya and Griever were really on the fence about that shit back when it happened. The Mael thing became a huge point of bullshit for me when he came back and like was doing that.
Nonsense.
Merlin is a game show.
Yeah, whatever, bro. We gonna talk about Merlin, but we not gonna talk about the nigga who lost his power and now has no role in the series. Come on, bro.
Did you guys forget that his body got way tougher being exposed to purgatory? Did we all just forget that?
Oh yeah, I got no problem. Actually, I just want to say that I got.
That's good, right?
The hand to hand was badass, bro. This chapter.
He hard body now.
Yeah. When
them dinky attacks that used to blow him to bits ain't finna work on him anymore. He twice double how many times stronger than that shit now. Like,
dude, I got zero problem with Bond having a body that can survive these attacks because his body has evolved to the point of being almost impervious to those type of damages, and I'm fine with that. 1,000 years of him.
It wasn't even
adapting
their
to
ability
that.
thing, though. It was his regeneration being able to keep up with the deterioration.
Yes.
The regeneration isn't there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, his body got stronger.
I mean, to a degree, but like
to a degree, he was in there for how many years?
He was still not 1v1ing the Demon King last time we saw him in Purgatory.
Okay, and he's still not doing it now. He's with Meliodas.
It's not like he. Hold on. Well, I'm just saying that, like I said, it's not like he needs to 1v1 the Demon King.
Was it Griever? Zazu?
Sorry.
Say what?
What were you saying?
No. I guess I cut out for a second. Oh no, I didn't hear anything.
Finish what you were saying, Zarso.
No, I was saying that, it's not like he needs to even fight the Demon King in the first place. Like, who wants to do that? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's like the one thing I don't understand. Oh yeah, he's taking up the.
No, I don't want to. I'm scared.
Oh, Jesus
This for that,
Who
bro.
wants to do that?
Okay, the only acceptable thing that I've heard as far as the Bond being able to do anything to this guy is what you guys brought up was the fact that is happening at the same time as the start fighted, and he's preoccupied because he has to focus in two places, and he's just fighting a 50% Demon King.
Agreed.
That is somewhat acceptable, but it's the only explanation that I see acceptable so far, and I still agree that his body would have evolved to the point that, yes, the regen was it at first, maybe the first 100 years, maybe the first 300, but eventually his body started to adapt to the point that it wasn't regen.
He wasn't coughing up blood and dying. Right. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. He literally overcame it after one point, but I mean,
right.
I read it, so.
Yeah, it's the same. Like, think of all animals. Remember, he's human. Humans are mammals. At the end of the day, put mammals in the ecosystem. Yeah, 1,000 of them will die, but then a couple of them will slowly start to evolve to adapt to their ecosystem. In the end, Bond was there for 1,000 years. He's basically going from Neanderthal man to fucking 2019 man. You know what I mean? He's adapted. He's evolved to his surrounding environment. So his body actually grew from that.
We get the power up. We can mostly all agree that it's to an extent acceptable. What we're saying is that what I'm personally saying is that you need a comparison point. That's how everything works. You can't tell if a character is mount level unless he fucking does something the size of a mountain. You can't tell if a character is faster than somebody else if they don't do something that's faster than that person or comparable. That's what I'm talking about. We don't have a comparison for Meliodas and Bond post Purgatory. We don't know. We said the niggas are strong as fuck.
It's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to have one when like they just got out of purgatory though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
How is that my fault?
I'm not saying it's you.
No. This is why I said that. As readers, it is our job to interpret the information that he gives us so we can get to his final conclusion. I don't have a medium to interpret. I don't know how strong he's supposed to be. He's just fighting the strongest nigga that there is. What? How, bro? I don't know how strong you are.
This is your benchmark.
So the strongest nigga's the benchmark? Oh, you came back so you can fight the strongest nigga? That's the benchmark?
No, not necessarily. I mean, look at him. It's not like he can fight the guy all on his own.
But you're making me seem like... I am not saying that Bond cannot do something similar to this. I'm not saying that Meliodas can't do something similar to this. I'm saying that I needed a step before this to say that he could. I needed to see, just like King did, the whole King with Maya thing. We needed to see King body Maya like that to say that he could body niggas that are a little bit above him. Him stopping or him dealing with the Demon King's wind with Pollen Garden, that makes sense. We saw him take a light ball of love and just tank it like nothing outside of the light ball of love, and the Pollen Garden took it. We know he can do that.
Okay.
The Sanctuary went inside of the cocoon of darkness or whatever, when Merlin said that even the perfect cube might not be able to take that. The Sanctuary, that makes sense. But Bond going hand to hand with this nigga, kneeing this nigga in his fucking stomach and shit, and then busting him in his face to make him bleed? What context do I have for him to do that?
Yeah, well, our last bout with this guy at 50% was him literally treating him like a mosquito. And now all of a sudden he can do this. It just doesn't. 2 + 2 just doesn't equal 4 yet. As everyone's been saying, we need the next couple chapters. It's similar to Assault Mode Meliodas. Once we got the context that even Zeldris was when he showed up against Esteros and Zeldris, and he just went boom, Hellblaze, and he's like, wait a minute, the ruler isn't even stopping. What the hell? And he just went, sit down, bitches. I gotta talk. Then we had a context for how strong he fucking is. Because it's like, okay, the ruler doesn't affect it, and now we know how strong the ruler was because it affected everybody else, and we saw, like, we have a benchmark for Assault Mode Meliodas. We need that same benchmark for Bond here, or at least we need the same benchmark for both of them. How strong is this Meliodas Demon King?
Here's the thing that you guys don't already notice, right? We're kind of out of time for that. That's the thing.
We're out of time for a lot of shit, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I understand.
You can't use that. Who was managing the time? My nigga, I didn't manage the time. Naya didn't manage the time. Ventura didn't manage the time. Whose fault is it you ran out of time? Bro, I feel like Soldier Boy out here, bro. Like, time? Like, nigga.
Yeah, especially for a dude that has...
You want an explanation as to how Bond is capable of taking on the Demon King for as powerful as he is without us really knowing exactly how powerful he is? Well, guess what? You like you said, Grimm, right? You want some exposition on his feats before he actually gets into another fight. Well, we like the most you're gonna get is him taking out those demons before he jumps over here and slaps at the Demon King like a couple times before he pops him in the mouth once or twice, a couple of times. That's it. That's what you're gonna get, and that's where we're at.
Look, bro.
The Taizai.
In order for Nakaba to make up for this, I need straight titties next chapter. I need Margaret to show up with some titties, a flashback of her. I need Merlin's shirt to like rip off halfway and shit, or like bean strips, like it wasn't an Aka dress, so we see some titties and shit like that.
Can we get Bartra's sister too?
But what? You
Bartra's
dirty
sister.
pervert! What the
From
fuck?
back in the day.
Bro, that bitch was 16,
Oh,
nigga.
whoa. No, here's what I need.
That's
I
of
need,
age,
I
right?
need. No, here's what we need. Here's what we need. We need Gila to grow her hair back and show back up with them titties. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Back when she was sexy and fine as fuck. That's what we need.
We need Elizabeth to fucking have her shit. Bro, her clothes better not be intact, bro. Next chapter, her clothes better not be intact, my nigga. I need to see her rip down the cleavage and shit. Her dress needs to be cut up from the bottom or whatever. It needs to be dirty as fuck. Half a titty, half a side boob needs to be exposed and shit like that. Cause I'm tripping, bro. I need it.
She needs to get rid of those bangs, just like Gila. It's a terrible look for women.
Oh, you're a hater, bro. You're a hater.
I hate bangs on women, man. I hate it.
Those straight cut
Depends
bangs.
on
Fuck,
the
they
look.
make.
Those
Depends on
straight
the
cut
look.
bangs are.
Whatever
And
Gila
anybody
has
here-
on her head right now, that ain't it. That ain't it.
Who's gonna tell me that Gila didn't look hotter before she had her haircut? Same with Elizabeth. Who the fuck is gonna tell me that?
We all know she did. Come on, it's kind of hard it's hard to deny it at this point.
Jericho out.
I forgot. Yeah, Jericho.
Yo, I'm still sad about that, bro. Fucking lame. It should have been Jericho, bro. Fuck, man.
Get out of
There's
here.
my boy Dreyfus with full size just coming in, grabbing the Demon King, being like, you know.
Stop.
Who said that?
What's eyes, man?
At this point, I don't care. Once again, 300, 301. I'm salty. I'm salty as fuck. So at this point, I don't give a fuck.
I'm an Arc fan, so none of this too much. I'm a Bond fan too, so like so I always enjoy like seeing them throw a couple of hands around left and right. But again, ultimately, I'm just waiting for y'all to get I'm just waiting for like this whole fight to get out of Camelot, because like this like you fucking up the kingdom, kid. Like, come on, like leave the boy.
Bro, you know what I would describe you as?
What?
You're like back in the days, like 400 or 500 days of the kingdom and shit like that. You're like the special servant who the royalty only used for like sex. Like, and it wasn't like some prideful shit. It was like some dirty, like, you know, that the nigga in the Game of Thrones who used to shoot arrows at the bitches that he's supposed to fuck, shit like that. Where like the royalty would slap the fuck out of you, take your butt, and then like spit on you and shit like that. Like,
oh my god,
get off that Camelot Arthur dick, bro. Get off of it.
that's crazy.
Wait. I got a question. I got a question, Grimm. The question is, if that's Ursel, does he like it? Does he get some sick pleasure? That's what I gotta know.
No. The thing is, bro, over time, hold on. Over time, because it happened so much, he's become accustomed to it. The whole Stockholm syndrome thing.
They want to say that, right? But you hop on, but you hop on the Fairy King's dick, Demon King's dick.
Dude, the Fairy King showed us.
Meliodas' dick. Like whose dick are you not gonna hop on
Yo,
when there's exposition, Grim? When? Like, whose dick won't you have in your cheeks? Who won't you have in your cheeks?
Yeah,
If
but
Elizabeth goes off next chapter, is she gonna be in your cheeks too?
dude, Elizabeth is in my top 5 strongest character list. I don't give a fuck. She's too nice. She's too nice. She starts pulling out down Noah's Ark made of fucking arc magic on fucking people. Then, well, I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Elizabeth can honestly stay bloody for all I care. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, she can stay bloody on the floor for all I care. Like, yo, like that healing for for how powerful her healing shit is for everything. For how powerful she is healing. It's not really like looking that good, especially right now. Like, yo, you can't heal your allies while they're all looking fucked up. Like Kane looking tired, Diane looking hurt.
Can't restore mana. She can restore health. Like,
I can't believe you, Rob Diane. We don't need her.
Yeah, we really don't.
Yo, stop talking shit, bro. She got them titties too, bro. Oh, low key, she needs to get her shirt whipped up too, bro. Low key.
Low key.
Useless.
Oh, good lord.
Amnesia merchant.
Oh, Jesus.
But that's gonna be it for 301's podcast. we're gonna be trying to do. I'm trying to start up this new thing, viewers. Over the weekends, we're gonna try to do like a collective stream. All the different guys from the association, niggas that do Taizai, One Piece, or One Punch Man. We're gonna try to get together at one stream at the end of the week to talk about like all the chapters that were released, any anime news that we had, and just bullshit around. Half of this shit is just we got cool ass niggas in here, so might as well talk about shit. So stay tuned for that. Most of the niggas in here should be there for that stream this weekend if they can make it. But hopefully it'll be like a new thing that we can start up. I don't know what to call it, but
is it gonna be on Saturday or Sunday?
yes, whatever works best for everybody. What you thinking?
We're probably gonna be around on Sunday. Sunday's my birthday, so.
You just say your rib day?
Yeah. It's a birthday, so on Sunday, so I'm gonna be around.
Oh, you said your rib day, as in like baby back ribs or some shit.
Yeah. I thought your fingers were getting all saucy up in here.
But stay tuned for that. The One Punch Man podcast was yesterday, so like that video, go check that out. Share that video if you need to. And I see our boys later on.
6 weeks.
What's up?
That shit.
Yeah, you need to tighten up, bro. What you doing, dog? That shit good.
I'm washed, man. I'm just tired.
Yo!